Hey, hey everybody. Welcome to Jazzy Tuesday. I'm just gonna do a quick sound check, make sure the sound is not too loud, not too quiet, and then we'll get to some dancing. I'm gonna be using music today from two bands. One band is called the Hot Swing Sextet, and I'll go ahead and do a sound check with one of their songs. And then another band that I want to use music from today, they're called the Hebe Sisters. They're from Sweden. And these bands are both bands that I'm going to do some work with in the next few weeks. So let's see how Flatfoot Flugey sounds. Good to me. Okay. Cool. So I just got back from a pretty long walk, so I don't really feel like I need to do any warming up. I think that was here in hilly Seattle. I think I'm pretty good to go. So I am gonna do a little bit of hugging this tea mug because it is pretty cold out here. But hey, it's Black History Month. I think it would be ridiculous to do a jazzy thing without at least acknowledging that, and acknowledging that, of course, Lindy Hop, jazz adjacent things are, of course, a part of that, a big part of Black history, and we have this month set aside, which is an interesting, I guess, gesture. But I think for me, I won't tell anyone what they should do, but I think for me, doing research and caring about it for 1 month out of the year is, of course, not enough, simply enough time. But, I would like this month to be sort of a time to reflect on what priorities are for me, values are, how those are reflected in what I'm doing, and then as I sort of revise the way that I do things, then it gets to get practiced throughout the year. So it's a nice reminder to reflect, a reminder to make sure that progress, personal progress, or whatever progress you were able to make, is being able to be made. And yeah, I don't know. That's my thought on the month. I know it's a big topic for people to like post stuff about, but I think for me, at least, it matters a lot more how it affects me and what I do. And for me, this is how it is. So I like to, reflect on what I'm doing, think about my priorities, how they're reflected in the stuff that I do, and revise. And that's, I guess, kind of what I've been thinking about the past day or two, as I see a lot of people posting about the month that we've just started. So with that, I would maybe encourage you to think about what the month's significance is for you, what it could be if you would like it to be something different, and do a little bit of reflecting. So I think it's time to do a little dancing. First, I think I would like to dance to that Flatfoot Flugey song. It's a little bit of a longer song. This whole album that I've got pulled up here is pretty, it's full of 4 or 5 minute songs. But yeah, let's see. These are both modern bands. and of course I'm using their music because I'm working with these two bands in the next few months. But where'd that song go now? Okay, here we go. All right. So let's dance to Flatfoot's Flugy. I just finished up doing the Jazzuary thing, and I know some of you all did that too. And that was a really fun sort of way to keep dancing through the month. January is kind of a tough month. I think in general, I found it particularly tough here in the Pacific Northwest, where it's just rainy for the whole month and kind of dreary, and the days are short and energy is hard to come by, as is motivation. So I think this was good. So I think I have a sort of too much to practice almost. Like I keep notes, I try to keep notes. And I think normally when I'm practicing, I sort of latch onto an idea and then I move on when I feel like I've more or less exhausted the idea and kind of come to a conclusion, something. And with Jazzuary, it was, something new every day. So whether or not I was ready to leave behind the topic from the previous day, whether or not I'd come to a conclusion, I sort of left in my wake a lot of things that I still wanted to explore, which I think is cool. But now I sort of feel a little bit like there's too much choice for what I want to do. Especially since I was sort of reading through my notes the past day or two as the month came to an end. And now I'm sitting here still not entirely sure what I really want to focus on, but maybe I'm just gonna goof off and dance for a song and find something that I want to focus on that way. I will say something that I came back to quite a few times was, hey y'all, thanks for coming. Something that I was coming back to was using the upper body, and sort of that seemed to be more or less one of the few recurring themes throughout the prompts for Jazzuary was using your whole body and encouraging folks to think about how jazz can be made in your toes and your fingers and your whole body. And I was sort of thinking about days when jazz seemed to come a little easier, and I think I've mentioned a couple times how in this really hard year, jazz has become something really important to me, more so than before, simply because it's something that feels a little bit more like active processing, and it's a little bit like the social void that was left by not being able to go out and dance with other people seems to have been sort of filled, maybe not filled, but the space that was left gave space for more personal things, I guess. I don't know if that's maybe the best way to describe it, but that all to say, I think throughout the month I've been really thinking about dancing with my whole body, and that's felt really good. I want to keep working on that, and I've just simply noticed that the more I have something to say, the easier it is to dance with my whole body. Like if I try to dance with my whole body by just thinking about dancing with my arms and thinking about dancing with my legs and insert body part here, it feels like it's reverse engineering things a little bit backwards. And I found that when I used, like when it was just simply honest expression, my whole body was involved without needing to think about it so much and without needing to force it as much. So I don't know. I'm not sure that that's necessarily going to be the focus of practice today, but that was sort of the conclusion that meant the most to me after this this month of jazzy practice time. So with that, I think I'm just gonna dance to this song by the Hot Swing Sextet. Maybe I'll pick a shorter song for a warm up. How's this one? Oh, that's fast. We don't need to do that. I like Flatfoot Flugy. I'm just gonna do that. That's fine. Maybe I'll just get tired and stop. All right. Hey, Jason. All right, here we go. Flatfoot Flugy. Oh wait, I need to put dance shoes on. See, that's usually why I talk at the beginning, is so that I can put my dance shoes on or whatever I forgot to do. Whoops. Okay. Cool. And if you folks watching are practicing anything, I really like hearing about what you're up to. So you can type it in the comments if you feel inclined, or shoot me a message. Tell me what you're working on. Okay, we got shoes, we got music. I don't want this. Or this. Or this. Okay. Flatfoot Flugy. Here we go. Hey, Maria. Whoa. All right. Well, oh, that felt a little rough. Started out okay. I think when I have an idea that I want to kind of try out, but I don't actually know where it's going, sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's interesting. This thing, I felt like I was doing a jazzy tongue twister. Yeah, that thing. Because it's in 3. 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the emphasis gets weird. And I guess. So I guess since I was accenting with my right leg, I think I was trying to kind of correct it to be less of a syncopation, maybe. I'm not sure really what was going on, but I guess if you start with your toes going one way, I think it would be useful to be able to choose what leg I want to accent with. But I think the pattern seems to be if you start with your toes going one direction, the leg on the other side can kick. And then the heels, yeah. That's a little bit complicated. More than I want to deal with today. But I guess now I have a video recording of it and I'll try to make it into something that I can actually use. I like how it looks. But I don't think I want to deal with it today. It's just kind of a little bit annoying. So that's fine. We'll move on. There was another thing that I did where I had something in my mind that I wanted to, like a shape that I wanted to make. And then what I did was not that. Which, like, I don't know. It's kind of funny at this point. I think, I don't know, maybe like a few years ago I would have been really frustrated at the fact that I couldn't make the shape that I had in my head, but like, I don't know. That just happens. Yeah, okay. I think I'm maybe just gonna dance to another song. I think maybe I'm just gonna dance to another song and particularly try to dance with my upper body. That sounds like fun. I really liked, like the more involved my upper body was, the more I enjoyed watching myself dance. And really I think if I can have both, if I can really enjoy the way dancing feels and really have fun like watching a clip of myself dancing, that feels like a really cool thing if I can achieve that to be something I can consistently always do. You know, sometimes things feel really cool and they don't quite look how I think they look. Or sometimes, you know, they feel pretty okay and they look pretty okay. But I would, you know, I'm kind of always on that reach of trying to have things feel really good and also look really good, and in the way that I kind of think they do. So maybe let's move on to that other band that I mentioned, who I have to pull up. Yeah, here we go. This band is called the Hebbe Sisters. They're from Sweden. They're really nice people. And they do cool harmony stuff as a trio. And yeah, let's see what song. Oh, let's do this song. Yeah, that's not too long. So this song is I Don't Get Around Much Anymore. I'm just gonna try to dance more with my arms and probably do less weird TikTok stuff. We'll see. And I'll link to both of these artists below. Let's see, it's 5:25. I think, yeah, I'll dance to these two. So I've been, I mean, I want to use the artist's music that I'm doing current work with, because I think that's important to, you know, promote cool bands. But, you know, I also do really value dancing, and I love dancing to old historic music and jazz, like OG jazz. I just, yeah, can't play it on the internet because copyright, which I have a lot of mixed feelings about, because for the most part, yeah, the money that people are getting fussy about is not, it's not like it's going to the folks who made the music. It's going to the record company, which I don't love. But anyway, I would like to play some, I mean, I got distracted. Anyway, I guess I felt like acknowledging that, hi, I'm playing, I'm talking about valuing jazz history and Black history, but I'm not playing any of the music, and that's why. It's because I can't. It'll get like silenced and it won't work. But I can maybe give music suggestions. I think that might be a good compromise. Yeah. Because even though you are allowed to use things for things like educational purposes, which I would count this as, Facebook doesn't seem to care. So yeah, I'll just maybe dance to this last song and then give a couple of suggestions for Black historic artists that I think are really great, have been inspiring me a lot, and I would love to suggest you looking into them. So let's dance to this last Hebbe Sisters song. This is called Don't Get Around Much Anymore, and it's featuring Peter Asplund, and it's a fun song.
The club got as far as the door. They have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Darling, I guess my life's more at ease. But nevertheless, why bring back old memories? my mind's more at ease.
Why, nevertheless, why bring back old memories, reminded of days
Divided
I
again.
have gone but for? All belongs without you.
Without you.
Don't get around much anymore.
Don't get around much anymore. Don't get around much anymore.
All right. We danced. So once again, the bands that I was playing music from were the Hot Swing Sextet and the Hebe Sisters, and I'll link to them below. Yeah, so thanks for popping by. I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but Jazzy Tuesday is a weekly invitation to make some jazz. So I talk about how I'm practicing and deciding what to practice for the day. And you're very much invited to practice along with me, or yeah, watch along and listen to some music. So I think that brings us to the end of our time. As I mentioned, I did want to make at least some suggestions about some historic Black artists to check out. And there's an album that I've just been really enjoying. I would really love to recommend listening to whole albums start to finish, because someone thought about the order of the songs and put them that way. And I think listening to a full album, especially if it's a live album, you know, those can sometimes be a little bit more special, I think, in this time when we can't listen to live music. Oh, here it is. Yeah. But anyway, I really like listening to full albums, since someone already thought about the order. So, you know, it makes my DJing my own practice a lot easier, and I get to become really well acquainted with the that group's arrangement of musicians for that recording session. So this album that I would love to recommend, and specifically Errol Garner, is the Complete Savoy Master Takes. You can find it on Spotify. That's where I listen to it. And it's just really excellent. I mean, Errol Garner is amazing. And if you haven't heard of him, I would absolutely recommend checking him out and learning a little bit about him. And I think I've talked about this a long time ago, but I think this seems like a nice time to bring it back. And it's something that I think, in terms of, you know, habits, things that I mentioned at the very beginning of this, things that I would like to sort of take a little bit of time to reflect on. I feel like I used to be, I was doing this for a while, and then I kind of stopped, and I think I really would like to see this become an important part of practice time again, is knowing, like, going a little bit slower through artists, and along the way learning more about them, and kind of trying to figure out, you know, read about them, read about what they said, or about what people who knew them had to say about them, and sort of trying to piece together why they might have made jazz, since jazz is, of course, about the people making it. So I think that is a good place to end for today. So if you are inclined, yeah, do a little bit of research about Mr. Garner and some of the incredible people that he played with. Listen to some of the incredible music that he created. Yeah, I can't play it here because copyright, but I hope you do go check it out. And maybe next week I'll share some of my favorite things that I've found out about him through yeah, trying to answer some of the questions I have about him on my own. And yeah, I think since I can't play music here on Facebook or Instagram, I can at least suggest it. So I would like to start making that a weekly thing of suggesting music to listen to. So with that, I think it's time to end. I wanted to mention this weekend, I am celebrating with all of my wonderful supporters on Patreon, but you don't have to be a Patreon subscriber to come and participate. We're having a blanket fort and jazz party on Sunday. That starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time, whatever that means for you, where you are in the world. Do some time zone math. You don't have to make a blanket fort, but you are very much invited to. And the theme of the party is all of our favorite songs. So bring a few favorites. And if you are interested in being part of that Patreon, you don't have to have signed up to come to the blanket fort party. You are welcome to just come and enjoy. We're just here to celebrate this lovely community. But yeah, if you would like to check out this Patreon project, you can find it at patreon.com/Bailey McCulley. And the link is in my Facebook or Instagram bio, wherever you can find that easier. So if that's something that interests you, yeah, shoot me a message if you want more details. There's a Facebook event floating around. I'll make a post about it probably tomorrow. And yeah, I'll share Zoom information around, and it should be really fun. So yeah, hopefully see you on Sunday with a blanket fort, or perhaps just with some snacks. So speaking of snacks, Stretchy Thursday is still happening every Thursday, 1 p.m. Bring a snack, take care of yourself. Yeah, I'll just talk about how I'm stretching, and you are invited to either do what I'm doing or not do what I'm doing. It's just a friendly reminder to do some stretching and take care of yourself. So that is actually the end. I think I've said that this will be the end a few times, but now we have come to the actual end. Take care of yourself. See you next week. Maybe see you on Thursday, and hopefully see you on Sunday. Yeah, and just shoot me a message if you have any questions about any of that information. So take care, all.